Philip Rivers, quarterback of the Los Angeles Chargers. Philip, you're 15. I always ask you this at the beginning of camp. What still motivates you to come out here and play this young man's game?
Well, one, I think it's a true love for the game, and I love the game of football. Your teammates, you being one of them, and that long list of guys you've played with in the past that you love to play with and be around and play for. And I'm still excited. I think that's when if you come out here that first day of training camp and you're not just a little bit nervous, then that's when something's probably wrong. But I still had those good butterflies today, and I'm enjoying it. These young guys are keeping me younger, and it's a good group, and we have a lot ahead of us this year. We're excited about having a heck of a season.
How do you build off the success of last year? Obviously, starting 0-4 is not what you want. We're always talking about getting off to a quick start in that first quarter, but you guys finished strong, that last third of the season, 3 quarters of the season. How do you maintain that going into this year?
Yeah, well, I don't think any year, I don't think you can have momentum, doesn't go into the whole next season, but I think it's good to draw from those times to say, look how we were playing, look what we were doing, and let's get off to a better start. Let's not dig that hole early. And so that's been kind of the mentality really all off season is we don't have time to dig that hole and try to fight back. We've been there many times. We were 4-8 staying in Kansas City. You remember that year, 5-8, and we found our way to get in, and we almost did last year. But let's make it a little bit, put us in a better situation to get off to a better start. We start in the division against Kansas City, who's really dominated us the last 8 times. So that's going to be a heck of a challenge, but no better way to start off and in the division. We're excited. I think the expectations are on the outside, but they're really on the inside. The outside expectations aren't influencing. It's what we believe we can do, and it's the old one play at a time, the one day at a time, and we have to really buy into that this year because all this exciting stuff is out there. Well, but we got to worry about today, and I think if we can buy into that, we can really be a special team.
Well, it starts with you, though, because as we were just talking about it, you're the only guy left off the 2009 AFC West championship team. So how do you bring those guys along, the inexperience of guys who've never won a division?
Yeah, well, I think it's talking about it, but I think it's not applying pressure to it. Hey, this is the year. I think it's just, hey, being relaxed, but speaking about it so they know, hey, this is for it to happen. Talking about the 06, 7, 8, 9, when it was just like every year we're going to win the division. It was just what we knew. We don't know that here. We got to create that, and I think the way we finished gave us that. We finally won some close games. We won some games in a row. We had those stretches where we lost every game. If it was 1 score or less, we found a way to not win it. And so I think we kind of overcame that, put that all in the past last year, and so now it's just a matter of stacking onto that. And I'm excited. It'll be here before we know it. It's a preseason game in 2 weeks, and then we know how fast it goes from there.
Well, just talk real quickly about the coaching staff. Year 2 of the coaching staff. How did things go this offseason? How did things carry over from last season? And the expectations of these coaches in year 2.
Yeah, I think Coach Lynn did a heck of a job last year dealing with the transition. He and the whole staff. And the whole team, really, for that matter. How much it affected us, I don't know. It's hard to say, well, that's why we started slow. I don't know if that's true, but there was a lot going on last year with the transition here to L.A. Now that that's all settled, we know where training camp is. We know where all that stuff. There's nobody looking at schedules going, where's the walkthrough? All that stuff's behind us. I thought Coach Lynn did a heck of a job and this staff of kind of how he wants things done and how we operate. And then now going into year 2, it just has a better flow to it. It just has a better flow to it, and we can really focus on the details and the football part and not worry with all the other stuff and just go out there and try to win a bunch of football games.
Before I let you go, I got to ask you about the tight end position. Losing Hunter Henry, I know you were expecting a big year out of him, but what can you expect from this tight end group? You got a group of guys that can get it done. What do you expect out of that group?
Well, you bring in a veteran in Virgil Green, who you thought was going to be a compliment to Hunter, and then you lose Hunter. So we have a lot of young tight ends that haven't played a lot, but that I think are capable. And I think they believe they're capable, which is most important. They got to believe it first. And so this is a time for them to get a ton of reps, put them in a ton of different positions, and kind of see what they can do. It'll probably be a little more by committee if the current group we have is who we end up going with, which if that's how it ends up, great. If an old man trots in here that we both know at some point, then that'll be good too. But it's one of those deals. You know, I don't like the whole. I get it, but it's kind of coach speak to me, the old next man up. I don't like, but it's to an extent it's true. You got to say, all right, let's rally. And there's younger guys that maybe I wouldn't have thrown to an individual route.
Absolutely.
And it's like, come on, I need to get this with them because maybe he's gonna be in there. Yeah. And if they are, you get in that huddle and you look around, you believe in who you got, and you go play.
There you have it. 17 in your program, number 1 in your hearts, Phillip Rivers. Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.